Hey friends, welcome back to the Handyman Journey YouTube channel and welcome to episode 3 of Office Edition Build Out. I am super excited that you are here today. Last episode, you can check that out up here. I will link that up here. But we left off framing out all of these walls, installing that window, and installing the back wall as well. In today's episode, we're going to do a little bit of electrical and we may start putting up some drywall. We were going to do paneling around this office addition here, but we're actually going to do some drywall because I found out that's actually just a little bit cheaper, at least in our area. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Basically the goal for this is, step 1, we needed to build our stairs. That was episode 1. Episode 2, we needed to build our walls. We did that. Episode 3 and step 3 is to install all of our electrical. Step 4 will be to, hang the drywall on the outside and then install the insulation in the walls and then install the drywall on the inside of the office building and then finish it out. So we are nearing kind of the middle way of this project, so I'm super excited about that. If you haven't checked out episode 1 and 2, I would highly recommend you check that out first. But we're going to go ahead and get going on episode 3. And we got our lead technician Micah here helping us out today. He's got a few tips for installing or roughing in this electrical for us. So stay tuned and I'm going to walk you guys through it every step of the way.
Hey guys, just have a little bit of a tip here if you're doing electrical and you need to set a lot of boxes at the same height. What you can do is actually just use your hammer, the length of your hammer, as the height. So you can set that right there and then throw your box right on that tip of that hammer, just like that, and then nail it in. And then also electrical boxes, if you didn't know, they have these little nubs right here which allow for a little bit of space for if you're doing a drywall, or in our case we're going to put some paneling up. So you basically just push it back until those nubs engage the wood and then you're ready to nail it in. So I'll go ahead and set this one right here, use our little hammer guide. There we go.
Alright, I use this stepper bit to install this armor light jacket here into this box. And I'm going to take the armor light, run it right through this bottom plate underneath this floor, and it's going to run over into that junction box right there. So that's how our main power is actually going to get to this room. Alrighty, as we showed, we drilled our hole through this box here, and basically we're running some armor light cable up through the floor. That's actually running down through this floor, and basically between the cavity from our floor of this office and the roof of the office down there, and then we're going to connect it over to that junction box right over there. So I got the armor light run all the way through here. I got the wires up here for the armor light. We got all of our wire ran. Micah went ahead and ran that. So now we're going to go ahead and install some outlets. Alrighty, for this installation I really don't need a whole lot of tools altogether. Basically we just need to punch out that, strip our Romex here, This one here, where our main power comes in, is going to be the trickiest wire up out of all of them. So I'll show you guys how I'm going to go about this. basically what I'm going to do, since there's a total of 3 wires that need to be hooked up to our outlets, both hots and neutrals and grounds, I'm just going to wire nut everything together, and I'm going to go ahead and create a jumper wire, and that jumper wire is what is going to be connected to my outlet. And really I only need to do that for this one here where the power comes in, because all of the other connections only have 2 wires going. 2 wires connecting, hot and neutral each. So they're a little bit on the easier side. But this one's not all that hard if you know what you're doing here. So again, we're just going to strip all of our wires, get them prepared for wire nuts. Strip our incoming wires as well, which are from our Armalite cable here. And obviously these are not hooked up yet. So I have not hooked up the main power source yet to that junction box. That's just the rule of thumb that I always do, even when I'm installing a ceiling fan or whatever, or brand new outlets or brand new switches or what have you. I always install where the power comes in last. I install that very last. So that way I know doubly sure that the power is off, because the power is not even connected. So the power is definitely off because it's not even connected. So that's the way I like it, and that's the way I want to keep it. So as you can see here, this wire here is going over to that outlet. This wire here is going over to our next outlet, and this wire right here is coming from our Armalite cable, which is our main power into this new Office Edition. And then I got an extra piece of Romex here that I'm actually going to steal all of the wires from so that I can make my jumper wires. So I got my black, my white, and my ground here. Strip all those in preparation for a wire nut, and then the other end will go right to our outlet. That one there needs to be a little bit longer so that it can have a curly Q on it. Shepherd's hook, created to go onto our outlet. I usually use these little view-tainers here to kind of hold my wire nuts. Works out pretty well. I also use it, it can be used to hold little screws and stuff like that, but kind of keeps things, you know, nice and tidy, and they don't take up a whole lot of room. So view-tainers, I'll put a link in the description below where you guys can get these view-tainers off Amazon. And then another rule of thumb, after you do a wire nut, always pull on each individual wire and the wire nut itself, because you want to make sure that puppy's tight and you got every single wire in there and they're not going anywhere. So there's our neutral wire. Now we'll go ahead and do our hot wire. Now our ground wire. All right, now we got our 3 jumper wires installed. Now we just need to put all of our wires back in the box here as nicely as possible here. And then when we're all said and done, we have 3 wires sticking out of our box that's going to hook to our new outlet. And then I'm using a brand new screwdriver here. Well, brand new to maybe you guys may have never seen it before, but this is called an ECX screwdriver. Let's see if I can get this thing in focus here. It's a special screwdriver that fits perfectly in the side of an outlet. So if you see, the outlet has a square middle to it, but it is also slotted, and that's exactly how this screwdriver is set up, so that it fits in there and makes great contact with that screw. So it really allows you to get some good torque on these when you're tightening them down, and that is always a great thing to have when you're dealing with electrical, is positive connections. And I shared this tip before. One thing that was taught to me is that you always know that black goes on gold, because Mr. T always wore a gold chain. He didn't wear a silver chain, he wore a gold chain. like it or not, that has helped me kind of remember what goes on what. After a while, it's second nature, but black goes on gold, white goes on silver, and obviously ground goes on ground. Or green. There we go. Oh, didn't tighten up that one there. Let's tighten this up. I also like to tighten up both of my screws just so there's no screws sticking out. Just for peace of mind, you know, so I know that nothing's going to touch those screws. And then when you push it back, you obviously want to make sure that ground screw is well, I mean, the ground wire is well hidden where it's not going to come in contact with anything. All right, there's our second outlet. Okay, we got all of the power hooked up, so Mike is going to go ahead and do the honors here. Let's see if it works. Hey-o! We got power.
Nice. Yep. Working great.
The outlets are working as well. All right, guys, for the sake of time, the sake of length of these videos, we're going to go and call this video here. And this video is basically going to be all about the electrical. I really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. I would appreciate your comments in the comment section below. Stay tuned for episode 4, which is going to be, we're going to be starting to put up some drywall and possibly some insulation. So super stoked about that. This office is really coming together. I'm loving how these two lights work. It really lights up this area. We'll really be able to see that after we drywall it all in. It's really gonna pop. So I'm pretty stoked. These are actually repurposed lights, so they're not the best thing to use in really an office. They don't have the diffusers on them or anything like that, but they're all repurposed from a job that we did probably about a year and a half ago or so. So we've been holding on to these guys for a while. So super stoked, would appreciate and would look forward to your comments in the comment section. Like this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss another episode. Have a great day, guys, and we will catch you on the next one.